Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie Cox, and I help people use their personal power to build a connection between mind, body, and spirit. In today's reading, we have some Reiki hands. I am a Reiki master, and I have infused Reiki energy into those hands and will be blasting you with universal life force energy just from watching this reading. You will receive healing energy through my intention and the energy I've placed in those hands. We are going to pull a message for today, Wednesday, May 5th, for the collective. The message that Spirit would like you to know for today, Wednesday, May 5th. And this is a good way to start the day. We have a card that says happy, happy with the number 8 on it. 8 is the infinity symbol. I'm trying to move the light a little so it's not shining right down on that card so you can see what this card looks like. It's a very beautiful card with stars and beautiful colors. I love this deck. The colors in this deck are just so awesome. I will put links in the comments below to the decks that I used today. And I feel like this happy, happy card is letting you know that if we can practice finding the present moment, that we're going to find joy and happiness, and that our desires will be effortlessly fulfilled if we are learning to become present. It's in that moment that we become satisfied with the way things are, and we will be free from the shackles of longing, and we're able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment. And that's because we're choosing happiness. So it's now time for this feeling of joy for just the sake of joy, because it's about realizing that we have a choice and we hold the power of that choice. We have a choice to be happy and to attract more happiness into our life. Happiness is something that we obtain from being grateful. And when we have a lot of gratefulness for the things in our life, if we have a lot of gratefulness for life, we find happiness. Is exchanging gifts. So it's almost like what Spirit is saying here is, I feel like what Spirit is saying here is, if we choose happiness and we choose to become present in our life, then by learning how to receive, we're going to be able to receive gifts in our life. So when we're present, we actually manifest, and the reward of that manifestation are the gifts that we manifest. So it's also about this not being a time to just do and take action. There is this push and pull. Okay, there's this exchange that happens in our life. And I feel like what this is saying is, when we become happy and grateful, we start to come into alignment. And when we come into alignment with ourself and we start manifesting, we start learning how to create abundance. And with that, we become aware of the value that others bring to our life. And we start exchanging energy with people in our life. When you start looking at life from this push and pull, from this give and take, then you start putting that into everything, not just money, not just in going to work and collecting a paycheck, but in the value that you bring in everything you do, and how you can exchange that value with people for their time and their energy, their knowledge, their service, whatever it is. And you start using it for your self-care, and you start using your time more wisely. You start to learn that you can be a co-creator of your life, that you start creating your own happiness. What a beautiful card to come out right in the middle of these cards. Absolutely beautiful. There's so much power in this card. I just love it. Okay, so yesterday's card reading, the card that had come out was peace. And in this card, the meaning behind this card is tranquility and peace. I'm going to read you what the book says with this card because I think that the message with this card is really important for this reading. I really don't want our Reiki hands to be covered up because I want you to get the full benefit of the Reiki energy. Okay. We have experienced a difficult period, but the trial is over. Challenging times in their multitude of forms, worries over financial or health issues, troubled relationships, or concern for others close to us have left us physically weakened or spiritually tested. Now, either by acceptance or conclusion, our troubles are past. Now we need the comforting embrace of rest. It's time to recuperate and regain our strength. A woman draped in a purple cloth reclines peacefully. A glowing divine light or spirit drives away the shadows of her troubles. She floats gently above a zen-like garden of cherry blossoms. Okay, so there's so much symbolism in this card for Saturn and Jupiter. It's very Christ-like energy. And for me, what this card is saying with these other messages is that we're moving into a happier time. I really see for the month of May, for many of us, that the month of May is going to be a really good month. The energy is shifting and changing, and we're really going to start manifesting a lot of abundance during this month of May. I'm just feeling a lot of abundance right now. We have compassion. Having compassion for yourself, self-care is really what I'm seeing with this. The exchanging of gifts. That is in doing stuff, having compassion for yourself, for other people. For me, this is a very spiritual card. It's so beautiful and so Christ-like. It's just a very spiritual energy here. And the stone on here, it's a very high vibrational crystal. And I feel like what this is saying is if you need some guidance, especially if you're a light worker, use a Hoite when you need to tap back into source and seek answers on a higher spiritual level. It elevates you to a realm where you can communicate freely with spirit, then aids you in communicating this information on the earth plane with compassion. A stone of spirit communication. It is perfect for spiritual teachers. Having compassion for another means you have reached a level where you can see a situation for what it is. You see the bigger picture, and all judgment has been removed from the situation. This is the sign of a true spiritual teacher. Reaching this state of compassion is ultimately our goal. For each lesson we learn, there are others also learning the same lesson, and we will continue to keep learning lessons until we die. This is how we grow and become more spiritually aware. It isn't a race. We are all here to help one another, and we all learn what we need to when we are meant to. When we start to view the world with compassion rather than judgment, the world becomes a much better place, and our interactions with others will shift accordingly. A Hoite is a rather expensive stone. If you don't have a piece, you can still draw on its energy by asking for its help. Remember, there are no boundaries when working energetically. We are all connected. We need only call on the energy we need for its help. And this, being number 29, is a master number because 9 plus 2 is 11, and an 11 is a master number. And for me, this card is a master card because it's very Christ-like for me. So, being that this is a very expensive stone, we can tap into the essence of stones and into the essence of plants, into the essence of whatever it is we are seeking. We don't have to have the physical, tangible thing in front of us because there is no such thing as boundaries of space. And so you can just call on this crystal for its guidance, for its help, and get what you need from it just from the essence of it. Use your mind's eye and temper your criticism. And number 33, a master number. This is crazy because I just filmed the twin flame message, which threes just kept coming up all over that message. So this is crazy how many threes are coming up today. But again, with this card, it talked about criticism in there and judgment. This card said, when we start to view the world with compassion rather than judgment, the world becomes a much better place and our interactions with others will shift. And now we're getting temper your criticism. So we're really being called to watch our words. Words are so powerful. They have such strong message to them. Words really are spells. We need to use discernment. When you are critical, you harden yourself and literally put energetic knives into others. You also block yourself from becoming a more refined, sensitive, intuitive human being. Your healing pathways get blocked and your bones and muscles begin to degenerate. When you are harsh and critical with yourself, you lose your life force energy, your self-esteem, and you become depressed. Your ability to be flexible, think deeply, and receive new, higher wisdom is also limited. Start looking for what is good, holy, and beautiful in each person. Develop discernment while still encouraging yourself and others to grow. Try to see things from several angles in order to create more objectivity and gentleness in your counsel. Practice self-kindness. This card asks that you start to experience yourself, others, and the world from a more compassionate point of view. Look at every challenge as a possibility for growth. Okay. This is crazy because when this exchanging gifts card came out, I said, be giving yourself the gift of self-care, self-love. Have compassion for yourself and temper your criticism. Watch what you're saying and judging in other people. When we pass judgment on other people, it's really an insecurity about ourselves. So it really could be a mirror for our own negative thought patterns. Really goes back to this whole thing of we're going to change our thoughts, our beliefs, our patterns. This is how we're going to shift to the next paradigm. Okay, so let's pull a blessing card to end this reading here. And this is going to go right back to that first card that was the happy, happy card when I said you needed to become present. This is the blessing of just being. You may have been thinking that if you had acted or chosen differently in the past, things would be better now. But in thinking this way, you fail to see the positive effects your past actions and choices have had on both yourself and others. Look closely and you will see many blessings. And I'm going to leave you with that for your reading for Wednesday, May 5th. May you have a blessed and beautiful day. Namaste.